Hey y'all, welcome back to Kristen Live Acres. In today's video, I wanted to discuss homesteading, and if you've possibly considered it, you're tired of living in like maybe a very populated suburban area or a big city. Maybe you have a high crime rate. There's so many reasons why people are considering, especially now in these days and times of a little uncertainty, about considering moving out more towards the country or to places that are more rural. So in today's video, I just really want to discuss the homesteading lifestyle, and maybe we can figure it out together, and I can give you some tips and tricks to see if it might be the right choice for you. As you can see, I started a nice little fire. You can probably see my chicken coop in the background. My burn barrel's back here. I don't know if you can see all that, but I'm running out of daylight, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. I think the best way to start is just to go over the question, what is homesteading? And in modern day terms, homesteading is being self-sufficient, living off the land, becoming closer to nature, being able to provide yourself things without having to go to the store and rely on other people and supply chain to bring things to you. And I think that the first thing you want to do would be to evaluate your property. All right, so number one, evaluating your property. The first question you need to ask yourself is, do you already own a piece of property or land that would be sufficient for bugging out or making a homestead? This video really is not so much about survival in a way, because a lot of my videos on my channel are about survival. This is survival, but it's survival on a daily basis for long term instead of for a catastrophe, a EMP, a natural disaster, or what have you. So if you do own a piece of land, there's a lot of things to consider. Is it going to provide you the proper amount of privacy? Does it have trees for timber, for building things and fire? Is it hilly? Is it flat? Does it flood? Is it in a place where you have plenty of space with not a lot of neighbors around? Are there county restrictions? All kinds of things that need to be considered, because if it's not the right property, properties are selling for a high price right now. So you may be able to make a profit off of the property you have and find one that maybe better suits your needs. If you don't own land yet, then you need to really consider a larger list, because if you already own property, you're one step ahead of the game. If you're looking to purchase property, things you might want to consider are some of the same things I just mentioned. Basically location, distance from your neighbors. Again, if there are county or city ordinances for building, for starting fires, for raising livestock. Can you Does it have a natural source of water, such as a lake, stream, river, well? These are all important, because if it doesn't have a natural source already, a well can be fairly expensive to have drilled out. So these are things you need to look ahead to see if that property's value and what they want for it is worth it to add the additional things you would need. I mean, we're talking from $1,500 to $10,000 for a well, depending on where your water table is at. So let's move on to number two, which is size, location, and the layout. So when it comes to deciding on all these factors, just remember that homesteading is not a one and done process. So like, you buy a home, you decorate it, you're done. Homesteading is going to be a never ending process. It never finishes. You're going to continue to learn. You're going to continue to develop your skill sets. And, you know, the knowledge will continually come. the expansion of your trade skills and your ability to do things, it will come naturally. And most people, you're going to just have to learn as you go. You can't know it all and wait for the perfect moment to start, because if you do, that time will never come. So here's an example of some goals and projects that you might want to consider when making your list of negatives, positives, and if this is right for you. Maybe creating a garden space, planting fruit trees, designate an area for livestock. I mean, depending on how much acreage you're going to get and depending on the ordinances and restrictions, that could be your only meat source. So we're talking cows, sheep, goats, chickens, rabbits, what have you. Depending on where your property is located, you may be able to hunt, you may not. So these are all things to really think of. You're also going to need a good sized area for composting, because I'll link a video above, but you really need like starting compost, an active compost, and then like a working compost that you don't touch. Another goal or maybe project to put on your list would be to build a greenhouse, because depending on the location where you're at, if it gets really cold in the winter, all of your produce are going to die. And if you're relying on yourself to feed your family from your garden, you're going to need a greenhouse. And they're not expensive. There's plenty of types. You can look them up. There's canopies. You can make a garden enclosure like I have done. If you look at my playlist or other videos, you will see my garden enclosure video. You can always have that in the summer and then tarp it in the winter. There's so many different options. The one thing that I haven't done, not one thing, there's many things I need to do. Like I said, it's always a work in progress, and you have to keep an open mind and just continually learn, meet people, find people that have skills or trades that you don't, and learn from them. Make friends with people in the community that are like-minded. So I have not created a rainwater system or rainwater collection system, and I really have a lot of ability to do it living in Northwest Florida. I just haven't found the right supplies, and by the time that I thought, hey, you know what, I should probably look into developing more skills in my prepping, and rainwater collection would be great. All of the not all, most of the barrels and necessities and items that would make it much easier for me to start out as a beginner collecting rainwater were gone. Either because they were from China, which I don't like to buy products that aren't made in America, but depending on your budget, sometimes you have to. And clearly, China trade right now and shipping and pretty much getting any product in has not been so easy. So I'm still working on that. But it's a very important thing, because if you know how to clean your water, filter it, distill it, whatever you want to call it, you can only store so much drinking water before it goes bad. So you need a way to have a source of water and be able to make it potable. Let's see, another goal or project would be possibly to start a beehive. Because not only can you use the honey as a replacement for sugar in recipes, because you're going to be cooking, because you will not be going to the store. So if you don't have sugar, there's a lot of things you can't make. Bread, I mean, the list goes on and on. This video is not about that. Maybe I'll make another video just on that. Bees are not expensive. However, you do need a good working knowledge of how they work and how to protect them and how to protect yourself. But not only can you enjoy the benefits of the honey from the bees, but you can use it as a bartering tool. And bartering items whether you're homesteading or whether you're in a SHTF emergency situation, are key. You really don't want to be giving away or trading your ammunition. If at all cost, it's something you can keep producing, so you're not losing, stock in things that once they're gone, they're gone. So, fruit trees, vegetables, anything that you can continue to reproduce, those are the things you want to try to barter, at least to start. I cannot do this here in Florida because Florida in general is about 7 feet above sea level. And our water table, my dog sometimes digs a hole and there's water. So, especially where I'm at, 2 blocks from the Gulf of Mexico and across the street from a large lagoon that feeds from the Gulf of Mexico, I can't do a root cellar. But if you have the ability and you maybe live in a state that has, a lower water table, a root cellar is great for storing long-term foods. So canning, if you've got number 10 number 10 buckets with what are they called? I haven't done this yet. I've seen it. I've seen it done. Why can't I think of it? What are they called? The dry packets. Oh, can't think. Come back to you on that one. But anyway, the number 10 cans with the oxygen absorbers, they still need to be in a cool, dry place. So if you have a root cellar where you can store some of these items, even water, batteries, anything like that. And if you are preparing or want to prepare for an EMP, the fire is covering me in ash. Sorry, guys. You just need to know that your communication devices or anything that you want to use post EMP need to be securely wrapped in a location such as a root cellar properly, otherwise they're not going to work after it. So that's a whole nother video. I just wanted to go over a root cellar, because if you're starting from scratch, you want to start from the bottom and go up, obviously. Okay, set up irrigation, or find out, as I said earlier, what it would take to have a well drilled. It is so important, and not only important, but fun, and a great way to learn is to attend local workshops or classes about homesteading, about self-sufficiency, about living off the grid, survival. Find some like-minded people, and you would be amazed what you'll learn from people, and it's like you're not learning, so it's not forced. You're not sitting there reading a book, making notes. It's something someone's explaining to you, showing you in the moment. You can see it, feel it, touch it, and they can tell you their experience and, the negatives and positives. So I think that's really, really important. So basically, number 4, I know I didn't really number these, but number 4 would be just to start. Just start. Okay, you can't wait for the right moment. Just give yourself some grace. Know that everyone makes mistakes. Nobody knows it all. And the only way to start the process is to just start and learn as you go. And you have to have an open mind and just know that it will be a continually lifelong learning process. I am out of daylight at this point, so I just want to tell you guys thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.